Thank you for staying tuned. You're still watching Game On here on News Central Television. It's time to talk football now. And of course, you do know that FIFA World Cup qualifiers were played all across the continent over the weekend and yesterday as well. Let's quickly give you all those results and also as the group standings currently exist. So it's in Group C, Lesotho lost 1-0 at home to Rwanda, while South Africa defeated Zimbabwe by 3-1. Elsewhere, South Sudan lost at home by 3-0 to Sudan. That was a result in Group B. Moving on very quickly as well to Group D, Mauritius defeated Eswatini by 2-1, while Cape Verde edged Libya 1-0, while Angola and Cameroon played out a 1-1 draw. In Group E, Zambia surprisingly lost by a lone goal at home to Tanzania, while Congo were Congoed by Morocco by 6-0. And in Group F, it's Kenya and Ivory Coast playing out a goalless draw. Gabon just about edging out Gambia by 3-2. The Seychelles lost by 3-1 at home to Burundi. And in Group I, Madagascar and the Eagles of Mali played out a goalless draw, while Chad lost at home by 2-0 to Comoros. And we will show you the results, the league standings as it currently stands from Group A to I. And let's quickly get to you that up to speed on your screen. But if you're a big fan of, there it is. In Group A, that's how Star do. The Pharaohs of Egypt leading with 10 points, followed by Guinea-Bissau with 6, Burkina Faso with 5, Sierra Leone with 5, Ethiopia with 3, and Djibouti with just 1 point. Egypt topping that group, no surprises. In Group B, Sudan leading a group that has the likes of Senegal and the DR Congo and former World Cup qualifiers Togo. 10 points the Sudanese have, 3 wins, 1 draw. Senegal just behind them with 2 wins and 2 draws as well, hunting down the top team in that group, the DR Congo with 7 points, Togo with 3, South Sudan with 2, and Mauritania, who did pretty well at the Africa Cup of Nations, struggling to qualify as well. Group C, this is the one that concerns Nigeria, gentlemen. If the director can freeze this one for just a moment, it's Rwanda, South Africa, and Benin Republic, all with 7 points. All of them have 2 wins apiece, 1 draw and 1 loss. Lesotho ahead of Nigeria with 5 points. Nigeria, the Super Eagles, no wins, 3 draws, 1 loss, while Zimbabwe currently prop up the group with just 2 draws from their first 4 games and just 2 points. Gentlemen, as far as I'm concerned, this situation is still somewhat salvageable, but the Super Eagles have to play the perfect campaign. They need to win 6 games, 3 at home, 3 away in order to qualify. That's the way I see it. I don't know about you, gentlemen, but it's mission impossible.
Is it mission impossible?
I mean, with the way this team is playing, you expect them to win 6 straight games.
But this is what we're used to. Nigeria starting slow in qualifiers, starting slow in tournaments, and before you know it, they start blazing the trail and all of that. I remember when I spoke to Favor when he was in Cote d'Ivoire, he said, this is time to bring out our calculators from Oshodi and everywhere to start calculating and doing permutations.
But can it be done?
It can be done. This is the super giants of Africa. They can do this.
Oh, please. Yeah?
It's a precarious situation.
Mission impossible.
It's difficult. I don't know what. See, the fact is that
someone said we should go and hire Tom Cruise as our new manager.
We are saying, okay, we are going to win 6 matches. If you are going to win 6 matches, then you pray that your opponents should falter.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't add up.
The fact that we haven't put in our destinies in the hands of other teams, that's really...
And we have Zimbabwe playing in South Africa, Lesotho playing in South Africa. You know, so
they are playing their home games in South Africa.
So
it's precarious. Yeah. So that's how it stands. Group C, Rwanda, South Africa, Benin Republic, and Lesotho, all above the Super Eagles of Nigeria with 6 matches to go. Don't forget, only one team, the group winners, can win and qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup in Canada, Mexico, and the USA. Let's move on very quickly to Group D. Yes, it's Cameroon, who surprised, despite all their problems with Samuel Eto'o, the coach, no coach, Ministry of Sports intervening. They are leading their group, unsurprisingly, ahead of Libya, Cape Verde, Angola, Mauritius, and Eswatini. 8 points. The Cameroonians top that group, just one ahead of the following pack. In Group E, Morocco doing pretty well. 3 games, 3 wins, no problems. Followed by Tanzania, Niger Republic, Zambia surprisingly struggling, losing at home to Tanzania. Nobody saw that one coming. The DR Congo, so I beg your pardon, that's Congo actually, propping up that group as well with 2 losses from their 2 games as well. Let's go to Group F. Group F now. Ivory Coast, African champions, showing how big teams perform. Four games played, 3 wins, 1 draw, 12 scored, none conceded. 10 points they have, followed by Gabon, Burundi, Kenya, Gambia, and Seychelles. Ivory Coast showing champion stuff. In Group G, former champions Algeria tied at the top of the table with surprise team Mozambique. Both of them have 9 points apiece. Botswana, Guinea, Uganda, and Somalia also in that group as well. Group H coming up next as well. Just the final 2 groups. Tunisia leading that group. No surprises. Big teams showing how it is done. 3 wins, 6 goals scored, none conceded, 10 points. Namibia following them with 8, Liberia with 7, Malawi, Equatorial Guinea, and Sao Tome and Principe propping up that group. While the last group is Group I, Comoros leading a group that has the likes of Ghana and Mali. That's the big surprise, but there's still plenty of football to be played. Madagascar in that mix as well, Central African Republic and Chad propping up the group. Gentlemen, the Super Eagles have an outside chance of qualifying if they emerge as the second best team. In all these groups, that's 9 groups, the second best placed team will now play an intercontinental playoff from the team from Asia, I believe, for a chance to get to the FIFA World Cup.
Which is tougher.
It is easier said than done. You still need to win those 6 games as it starts. Let's get to Nigerian football now. The matches that were played today in Matchday 36 of the NPFL. Let's quickly give you all those results. Some excellent results. Aqua United defeating Katsina United by 3-1. Aqua United finding form towards the end of the season after pretty much of a bad lull. Bendel Insurance defeating Rivers United 2-1. Enyimba dropping points at home to Bayelsa United. Enyimba scored first in the first half. I think it was Alade Balogun, striker, scoring in the 20th minute before Evans Okorie equalized for Bayelsa in the same first half. That game ended 1-1. The Elephants could not trample down the house that Bayelsa built. Gombe United already relegated. They seem to be donating points to everybody, all comers. They donated 3, and 3 goals to Abia Warriors as well, losing by 3-1 at home. Kwara United defeating Kano Pillars 2-0 at the Ilorin Township Stadium, while Niger Tornadoes just about edged Lobby Stars by 3-2. Other results from today's games, Remo Stars showing title-winning form, winning 4-1 at home against Heartland of Owerri. And that result, gentlemen, seems to have confirmed Heartland as the second relegated team this season.
Their heart has landed in the NNL. As simple as that.
Well, their hearts have been broken. Sporting Lagos also losing at home to Plateau United. Plateau United were actually 2-0 up before Sporting Lagos pulled a goal back, while Shooting Stars edged the high-flying Enugu Rangers 1-0 today at the Lekon Salami Stadium in Ibadan. Like the people of Ibadan like to say, Ibadan Lankwebi. You don't come here and get a win on the platter of gold. Pretty much showing just how they do. So as it stands now, let's quickly show you how the log stands in the NPFL, because what that means after today's results is that Remo Stars are now in second place, just 2 points behind Enugu Rangers with 2 games to go. Enyimba dropping to 3rd. Shooting Stars with an outside chance of breaking into the top 3, just 1 point behind Enyimba, who dropped points at home today, which means that if for some reason Enyimba continue to drop points, Shooting Stars still have a chance, an outside chance of sneaking in. Plateau United in 5th place as it currently stands. 2 matches to go. It is looking really good for these 3 teams, and Shooting Stars with an outside chance. Gentlemen, you want to place your bets now with 2 games to go?
You know, before the game begins between Shooting Stars and Enugu Rangers, I was hoping that Shooting would shoot down the Antelopes, and it happened that way. So let's go on to game 37, then we'll find out what will happen. But I still think Enyimba have a slight chance to win this one.
Oh, yeah? You want to agree or disagree?
Yeah, I think the title decider was last Sunday when Rangers hosted Enyimba. And, you know, unfortunately, the end was not so palatable, but it was a good game of football.
Yeah.
The great advertisement for Nigerian Professional Football League. But now that 3 points and 3 goals to Rangers really did them a lot of favor. You know, so even after they went down at Ibadan, it still means that they can still go back and get some points. But for Enyimba, you know, drawing against Bayelsa, it's a disservice to their title aspiration. So for me, I think Rangers, you know, are the favorites.
Okay. Well, but let's quickly show you the bottom 4 now, bottom 6 in the NPFL, all the teams that are struggling against relegation. Gombe United, gone. Heartland, gone. Who will join them now is the big question. Doma United, Sporting Lagos, Bayelsa United, and Sunshine Stars. Now, Sporting Lagos, recall earlier this season, they fired coach, what's his name again? Paul Ofo. They were in 11th place. Now, they are in 17th place. Obviously, that move did not pan out. And get this, gentlemen, their last 2 games, at home to Enyimba, away to Shooting Stars. Is it safe to say that Sporting Lagos are gone?
I don't want to say that the decision was wrong, but from all indications,
The decision was wrong.
the decision was wrong. Because maybe they were overambitious. When you just gain promotion to the Premier League, I think the first thing
is to consolidate.
Yeah, consolidate. Yeah. Try to maintain your Premier League status. If you have a coach that is doing that, you leave him. Just stay in the Premier League. Then understudy how the system operates. Then the following season, you can aspire. But it's very unfortunate. Well, they said one man meets another man poison. Ikorodu United, Ikorodu City have gained promotion.
Oh, yeah.
One Lagos team is going up.
Another Lagos team
is going down.
Likely going down.
Well,
I don't want to doom them yet. So let's.
But we knew that Heartland, it was just a question of when.
Not if. Okay.
Not if.
After the decisions that they made. Well, joining us now tonight is David Orji. He's the media officer of Enyimba International Football Club. David, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure you've been enjoying the show. And of course, everyone has been talking about how Enyimba seem to have handed this title to Rangers by virtue of, some have argued that they say actions. During match day 35 in the Oriental Derby at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium against Rangers. And a lot of people are saying that, look, Enyimba shot themselves in the foot by the actions of their fans, the technical crew, the players as well, handing 3 points and 3 goals to their closest rivals, and also paid a 10 million naira fine. What do you have to say to this? What is Enyimba's position on this? Of course, you do know that decision is still open to appeal. Are you going to appeal?
Narrative going on in the media that Enyimba actually shot themselves on the foot. And there's also this narrative that, the People's Elephant actually abandoned that particular game. And that was the reason why Rangers were awarded 3 points and 3 goals. But I want to state categorically that the People's Elephant never, at any point in time, actually abandoned that particular game. Now, what we saw over the weekend was a very beautiful and exciting atmosphere initially when the game actually started. And later on, we started seeing scenes where it was clearly obvious that we had more people in the stadium. Now, you could see fans behind or beside, the perimeter advertisement boards, even the stewards were actually overwhelmed. Now, the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium is actually a 22,000 capacity stadium. But I'll put the chief operating officer of the Nigerian Premier Football League in an interview yesterday where he stated that we had practically over 40 to 50,000 persons. Now, let's do the simple analogy and let's do the simple math. You have 22,000 people in the stands and you admitted over 40 to 50,000. So technically, you have 2 times the number of people who should be in the stands. You actually have them around restricted areas where they are not supposed to be. Now, in the 97th minute, when the referee actually initially called or initially waited for rules for an offside, and the assistant referee actually had other plans. I don't know, probably he was under pressure from the Rangers fans, because technically the assistant referee was also sharing his line. He was sharing his own space as well with the Rangers fans. We also had to share our technical bench with the Rangers fans.
David, sorry, David, to cut you short. Nobody is disputing the fact that there were more people in that stadium than it should ordinarily contain. Nobody is disputing that fact. Rangers have been fined 5 million naira for breaching that as well. But the question really is that Enyimba seem to have contested the award of the penalty, seem to have basically, physically, tried to interfere, face off with the assistant referee as well, and also claimed to have walked off the pitch. We did see scenes where it seemed to be officials were asking players to leave. Are you saying that it was not a penalty? And are you saying that Enyimba did not abandon that match? That is what we'd really like to know.
Yes, Enyimba never, at no point in time, actually abandoned that particular game. You see, when the referee actually took the ball and placed it at the spot. We still had unauthorized persons, not just the restricted areas, but we had unauthorized persons inside the pitch. Now, the Rangers stewards were inside the pitch, and for the safety of our players and for security reasons, our players actually had to come to the byline. So never, and at no point in time, did our players actually abandon that particular game.
So we're seeing pictures of Enyimba players walking off. So you're telling us that these are Enyimba players leaving for their own safety. We can see missiles being tossed. So Enyimba players leaving the pitch for their own safety, but not abandoning the game.
Well, we never left the pitch. We were just close at in front of our technical area at the byline, because as at when the referee actually placed the ball at the penalty spot, we still had unauthorized persons inside the pitch. And technically, a football game cannot continue when you have persons inside the pitch. We had stewards inside the pitch. We had some Rangers fans who were also trying to make it inside the pitch. So never, and at no point in time, did we actually leave the pitch or walk out and say, oh, we're not playing again. The only thing we actually wanted was an assurance of the safety of our players, and that never happened. Now, you can actually see the video here where our players were still inside the pitch.
True, standing on the sidelines, yes.
We could still see stewards inside the pitch as well, as of when the referee said the penalty should actually be taken. Now, if you look at the perimeter advertisement board, you could see fans all over the perimeter advertisement board. And those fans all over the perimeter advertisement board, they were already threatening our goalkeeper, even behind the goalpost. So at no point in time did, you could see the video, at no point in time did the Elephants actually leave or technically abandon that particular game.
Right, David, I also want to ask, I know there would have been injury issues. Were any players injured? I hope none of them is actually struggling for their lives at the moment.
Well, we had fans who were injured, and these fans, about 3, just left the hospital yesterday. I had to run for my life. I had to scamper for safety. If only you see how I actually ran, because it was a very, very chaotic atmosphere where the Rangers fans, they actually started damaging the perimeter advertisement boards, and from there they started using it to actually chase players and chase fans. Our fans were actually wounded. We had 3 fans who just left the hospital as at yesterday, and personally I had to scamper for safety after this entire league. And it's quite rather unfortunate that at the end of this we are fined 3 points. We are told to forfeit 3 points and 3 goals. And
David,
we are still fined, or we are still told to pay a fine of 10 million naira.
David, I understand the challenges of the job you are doing, but sometimes we have to look at the video and we have to put things in the right perspective. At the time the penalty was awarded, I saw the video, and I saw that some of Enyimba players actually went to the assistant referee, and I think that led to the scuffle between the fans, the stewards, and the Enyimba players. So the point is this: yes, there were issues. We all saw it. We saw that the stadium was overcrowded.
Let me say something.
Just hold on.
Okay.
The stadium was overcrowded. It's well documented. I think that should be Rangers' problem. The NPFL should also look into it. You know the capacity of the stadium.
We need to move very quickly.
Yeah, so don't you think that your players, Enyimba players, really played into the hands of Rangers by first and foremost going to the assistant referee to confront him, which led to the scuffle? If they had maintained their cool, it's a penalty. It has not been scored. There is some tendency that the penalty could have been missed, and maybe the game would have ended in a draw. So I want to get your own side of that angle.
Now, I love this analogy of yours, and I would also want to state that, yes, if a decision goes against you, you can always go to the referee and protest. Now, initially, the center referee had actually signaled for an offside, and the assistant referee had other plans. Now, these players actually went to the assistant referee to protest. Probably they protested in a manner that they shouldn't have protested. But at the end of the day, if only we did not have unauthorized persons, unauthorized persons in restricted areas, it wouldn't have culminated into what they actually culminated into. Now, we've seen cases where players actually go to the referee to protest, and, because they actually have a window to protest, around 5 minutes window to protest, and at the end of everything, the referee says, you yellow card, yellow card, yellow card, you yellow card, you yellow card, you yellow card. And then, game actually continues. Because, you can't say, oh, okay, a decision, I feel like a decision actually went against me and I shouldn't protest. And this actually, takes me back to the initial point I actually stated about bringing in people who basically have no business in the technical area and restricted areas to actually be there. So if technically we did not have people around there, what would have actually happened was a situation where the referee and the fourth official would actually wave in and, calm the atmosphere and say, oh, everyone, players, calm down, calm down. And then, you charge towards the referee, that's a yellow card for you, a caution for you.
Okay.
Because you can actually see the video, because we actually had people who were in places where
they shouldn't have been. Yes, that is well established, David. But finally, before we let you go, we want to ask, has Enyimba appealed the decision of the NPFL, or did you plan to?
Of course, yes, because the decisions of the NPFL, they are quite harsh. Yesterday I actually listened to the Chief Operating Officer, and he said that the decisions of the board was actually taken based on the reports of the match commissioner. And it's quite a rather disturbing that even the match commissioner did not actually highlight or capture the fact that our fans were assaulted. Players had to run for their life. Even most of our players actually lost very, very important, valuable items, like their jerseys, their boots. I personally had to scamper for safety. But, the match commissioner obviously didn't capture this in his report.
Okay.
And, of course, you can actually see the video where, our fans, and we still had just 3 fans who actually left the hospital in Enyimba as of yesterday.
Okay. David Orji, thank you so much for joining us. David Orji, of course, is the media officer of Enyimba International Football Club, 2-time African champions and multiple NPFL champions as well. Thank you so much for joining us, David. And we appreciate the fact that you have really good legs that can take you away from places of danger. Thank you very much, David, for joining us.